Done.
Okay, so welcome everyone. Thank you for being here. With this event organized by the head of network Turkey of the Annalyn Foundation. In fact, this is a human library event that we named Open Books that is aimed at raising awareness on intercultural citizenship education. And what we will do today, we will have 3 guests that will share with us their stories. So they will be our books, let's say, our human books. And the aim of the session is, yes, to raise awareness on intercultural education and also to break some prejudices and stereotypes that we will see sometimes people can face in their daily life. So we will have some stories that are subject to prejudice, stigmatization, discrimination, and we will try, first of all, of course, to listen from them, but then also there will be the space in the second part of the session to ask some questions and to analyze more, to understand more about what they will tell us. So we were very grateful to our 3 guests today, which are Anastasia from Slovenia, Bogdan from Romania, and Melika from Iran. They will be for today our open books. But before giving the floor to them, I would like to give just the chance to each of us to introduce herself, himself. So as we are many, if you can briefly, please just say your name, where you're from, and that's it. So we may start with Franci and Alberto.
Okay. So hi everyone, my name is Francesca, I'm 24 years old and I come from Italy. And I studied international relations and international cooperation.
Hello, my name is Alberto. I come from Italy as well. I'm 28 years old and I studied science of sports.
Thank you very much. Irilda, can you be next one, please?
Hello, everyone. It's a pleasure to be here, like always. I'm Irilda from Albania.
Thank you. And Federica, please. Federica, we cannot hear you.
Now?
Yes.
Okay. Sorry. Hello, everyone. I am Federica. I'm from Italy, and I have just graduated from Ca' Foscari University of Venice. I have studied Turkish and Arabic studies.
Thank you very much. And we have Patricia.
Hello, everybody. My name is Patricia. I'm from Spain. And yes, I'm glad to see you again, all of you.
Thank you very much. Silvia.
Hello, everyone. I'm Silvia. I'm from Spain, and I have studied physical education.
Thank you. Then we have a trio, Leonardo, Paloma, Ganzel.
Who?
Leonardo, can you unmute, please, your microphone?
Now, can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay. Hello, everyone. I'm Leonardo, 25 years old from Italy, and I recently graduated in communication science.
Hello, I'm Ganzel. I'm 4 years old, and I study English at the University of Bucharest.
I'm Paloma, I'm from Spain, and I'm 27 years old, and I'm studying museology in Strasbourg.
Thank you very much. Nehir, can you be next one, please?
Hello, my name is Nehir Şimşek. That means river and lightning in Turkish. And I'm Turkish. I'm 20 years old and studying psychology. Thank you.
Thank you. And Francesca Mele, please.
Hi, everyone. I'm Francesca from Italy. I've studied international relations, human rights, and it's a pleasure to be here. Thanks.
Thank you. And we have Muso, our dear friend.
Hello guys, how you doing? I'm Muso. I'm a mixture, but I could say that I'm Italian. I joined from Ankara, let's say, and I'm a paramedic. That's all. Thank you. Cheers.
Thank you very much. And Burju, can you be next one, please?
Hello, do you hear me? Can you hear me? Ah, okay, nice. Hello, I'm Burcu. I live in Ankara. I'm 30 years old. Thanks.
Thank you.
That's all. Thank you.
Thank you. And we have Angela Spasowska.
Hi, my name is Angela. I'm from Macedonia. I live in Turkey. I'm 22 years old and I'm a volunteer and also I work as an English teacher.
Thank you. Sandra and Arturo.
Hello everyone, my name is Sandra. I'm from Spain and I am social educator.
My name is Arturo. I'm 22. I study international law and I'm from Spain.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. Serena, can you be next one, please?
Yes, hello everyone. I'm Serena, I'm from Italy, 25 years old. I'm currently in Ankara in Erasmus studying Arabic languages.
Thank you very much. Then we have Angela.
Hi, I'm Angela from Macedonia.
Okay, thank you. And okay, except our guests, I think everyone. We have, wait, one moment. Arat, hello Arat.
Yes, I am Ilter and I am from Turkey and that's it.
Okay, thank you very much. So I will leave the floor to Esmeralda. Esmeralda will leave the floor to our guests so they will have a chance to extensively introduce themselves as well. So again, Bogdan from Romania and Anastasia from Slovenia and Melika from Iran. They will be our guests. My name is Jacopo, I'm from Italy and nice to be here. So Esmeralda, I leave the floor to you for introducing yourself.
Thank you, Jacopo, for moderating the intro, and thank you to all the participants for being here. So I am Esmeralda. I'm from Albania, and as Jacopo said, this activity is being hosted by the head of network of the Anali Foundation Turkey. And more specifically, this activity is the second one that we organize in the frame of the virtual marathon for Dialogue in the EuroMed. This is the virtual marathon for Dialogue in the EuroMed is the largest large-scale event, let's say, that Anali Foundation is organizing in 42 countries for 42 days, and the number 42 is symbolic for the 42 countries that Anali Foundation is based and the networks. And just to mention the fact that this virtual marathon substituted somehow the forum, EuroMed forum that was going to held last year in Šibenik in Croatia, but it was canceled due to the pandemic. And then the organizers came up with organizing this virtual marathon, which is aiming to bring together over 3,000 civil society organizations across the region. And the main topics that will be, that are, let's say, the activities will take place are, as Jacopo mentioned, intercultural citizenship education, in the youth field, media, intercultural trends, and inclusion, and so on and so forth. The first activity that we organized was the social social entrepreneurship hackathon that took place 3 weeks ago, and open books that will take place today will be the second one, and I'm sure it will be a very nice event that all of us will enjoy, and it's a unique one because we don't get to listen such live stories that are told by people who experienced these obstacles. And but I will not spoil it further. And I will leave the floor to the first guest to start telling their story, and then afterwards we will have the question and answers session. The floor is to, who was the first, Jacopo?
We don't really have an order, but we may start. I would suggest to start with Anastasia, then
Okay.
Bogdan, and then
Melika. Okay, so Anastasia, the floor is yours. Thank you.
Sorry, guys, can you leave us 2 seconds just to change places? And we'll start in 30 seconds.
Yes, sure.
Okay, thank you. Sorry again, can you start with Bogdan?
Okay, sure. Bogdan, are you ready?
The internet is very bad right now. Anastasia will go second.
Perfect.
Okay. But anyhow, we can hear you well, at least. We can see and hear you well. But we can start with Bogdan, if he's ready. Bogdan, can you hear us?
I think we missed him.
Yeah, I'm afraid we lost Bogdan. Okay, let's just wait one moment for him to reconnect or to Anastasia to fix.
Okay, Bogdan is here again. Bogdan, can you hear us?
Yes.
Can you please start?
Okay, so I was going to talk about the difficulties of persons with disabilities on finding a job. I went to a lot of job fairs and showed my resume to different companies, but some of them didn't even look at my resume. Some did and said nothing or made stupid excuses. Finally, I got no, let me rephrase. In 2012, there was a job fair for persons with disabilities. I went there, I put my CV at different companies. One of them told me, yeah, I am perfect for their job, for what they're looking. And they said, yeah, we will call you, you will have to do this course, and we will hire you. And that was in 2012, and they haven't called me since. In 2019, I got finally hired, but at a bookshop. And from my experience, what I can say, I saw a lot of persons with disabilities getting disillusioned by what they see, what they saw, how other people treated them, that they don't want to hire them.
And Bogdan, would you like to share also a little bit about you, like where you're from as well, what you studied?
Okay. Sorry, I was going to start with that, but I forgot.
No problem.
Okay, I'm Bogdan. I'm from Romania. I studied to become a social worker, but I don't work as a social worker because they don't hire people with disabilities, unfortunately. And I'm 31 years old.
Okay, thank you very much. Is there any other aspect that you would like to share with us?
If someone someone wants to answer, to ask me a question, I will be happy to answer.
Okay, then in that case, let's give the floor to our other two guests, and then we will come back to you with some questions. I'm sure many of us would like to ask something more. Thank you very much.
You're welcome.
Thank you. And Anastasia, if you're ready,
yes.
Can you next one?
I am ready.
Okay.
So I shall introduce myself. I'm Anastasia. I come from Slovenia and I'm 29 years old. And today I would like to talk about, as a disabled person, how I faced discrimination throughout my life, like on school backgrounds, high school, and even later. So shall I start now?
Yes, please. Yes. Also, if you like, Anastasia, also to say something about you before, that would be great.
Yes, actually, I am a person with disability. I have both physical disability and also autism spectrum disorder, so I'm also autistic. I wasn't born like this, but later I got brain injury after the vaccine. Due to this fact, most of my life I faced various discrimination. And yes, I didn't really finish any school because I didn't get the chance to, but I think in the future I will. One story I can tell is, for example, when I was in a primary school, and we were playing outside for a recess. And there was some game with a ball. Due to my disability, I can't really catch the ball. And I wanted to join in a circle with the kids. They, instead of including me, they pretty much said, no, because you can't catch a ball. You aren't like us, and please go away, don't come play anymore. And I even asked them if they would teach me to catch a ball, but they didn't want to do that. That was one of the first stuff when I actually felt different, because up to that point, as a kid, I thought myself the same as the other kids. So how did it feel? It actually felt I was really sad. And then I went to the teacher, I was crying. It was so, actually it was painful because I didn't understand why the kids couldn't include me. Later on, all the way to the primary school, sometimes I was even beaten by the other kids, until I found a friend who actually taught me how to protect myself. And she beat the other kids for me, so they left me at peace. In high school, sometimes I was alone, especially because I couldn't join in with the sport activities. And it had to be done a little bit differently for me. So actually, like, I obviously couldn't run, so many kids were laughing at me and saying like, look, she can rest there and we have to run. Why the teacher doesn't make her do something like us? And they haven't really got the mindset of including others. What my message would be, it would be that we really aren't that different. Like, if someone has trouble writing, for example, maybe he can type on the computer. So there are ways to do the same stuff that others do, and one shouldn't exclude people just because of this. And because it feels like many times I felt different, I felt rejected, I felt sad because inside I wanted the company to do the same things. And yes, also later in life, one day I wanted to finish school with the financial help of the state. And I also asked for some project to maybe help me gain some skills for the workplace. And I went there with my mom. She was accompanying me, and practically they said, you know what? We can't help your daughter. She is good only for an institution. I was 18 years old at the time, yet I didn't give up. I continued learning. I put myself into music. I was a part of various bands, even though I have trouble with my hands. And it took me a little bit more time to learn the same things as others. I learned to play well. So my message would be, if you see the person with disability, please include them, and please think of some ways that you could do stuff with them. It will mean very much for the one facing difficulties.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much, Anastasia, from all of us. And we may now give the floor to Malika from Iran.
Hello, everyone. I'm Malika, and I'm from Iran. And I'm around 23 years old. And if I want to start, Jacopo that day was telling us that the real meaning of disability is that a physical or mental condition that stop you to act freely or to be involved and socialize freely. I haven't had the this kind of disability physical, but I think that since I could find myself, I was in kind of a disabled situation due to the culture that I was born in. As a child, I was always, I don't know, maybe it's brought me as a, from my family, and they gave me the feeling, or I was born with that. I was always wanted to be different. And as a woman, as a child, a girl in Iran, everything is different. When you are a boy, you can express yourself. You can ask what you want. You can move. You can go to the street. But as a girl, everything was different for me. I can remember that since I could move, I was on top of the buildings. I like to stay on the trees and spend an hour because I love the hate, and that was what I love. And I was always helping and stopping by others, my mother, family, even the neighbors. That's, as a girl, it's not good for you to do that, and it's not a behavior that as a woman should does. You will be out of the target when you get older. And I was always being stopped. And then when I went to the primary school, it happened again. I wasn't from a religious family, but when I entered the school, I faced that lots of pressure from religion on me because I was forced to wear hijab as a 6-year-old child. It wasn't acceptable for me, but I had to. And I was a good student, but still I was blamed because I don't pray in a school, because I didn't want to. And I was getting older, and I had conflicts in my mind that if it's right, why I can't feel it, why I can't be it. And it started that I put blame on myself. It started that I was one of those culture. I became one of the member who are putting pressure.
Creo que sé lo que va a pasar. Que va a estar todo el fin de semana dándonos la chapa mucho, y no me da la gana.
I think that I can understand, so it's not it. And me and myself putting pressure on me, judging myself, and I started so hardly. And as I went to the middle school, it was the hardest situation for me, because as a teenager, I was I was the side on the culture, the thing that was defined that is correct for me. And I could feel that it's not me. So I was always with fighting myself, that's judging, punishing myself. And as a teenager, I was unbearable. And I was out of any target. I started doing stupid things because I wasn't feel peaceful. I wasn't in the right situation. And in that age in Iran, teenagers started to question about religion. And they started to have conflicts. They started to blame religion. And as I mentioned, that I always had the feeling that I want to be different, I was against this situation. So I was a religious teenager in Iran, a girl, and as a teenager, I was sexually active. And on a side, I wanted to, and I was curious about my sexual interests and getting to know guys, and it was new for me. And on the other side, I was stopping myself. I was stopping by school, and it was a hard situation for me. And after that, when I got to high school, and my scores just dropped because maybe I was smart enough to have a good score, but I wasn't in that mindset to organize things with myself. And as I got a little bit older and I went to high school, I thought I was more mature a little bit to think about things in a different way. And I started for a time that maybe I don't even believe in God. Maybe, what if I don't? And for a time, I just said that for a month, for 2 months, try it. And I started, and I said, oh, okay, it wasn't that bad. And I seriously don't know what happened. It was like a miracle for me. But I started to be more calm and calm. And after 4 years, I knew that if I want to be different, it's not the way that I should. It's the way that I must be myself. As an individual, everyone is different. No one else is like me. No one else is like anyone else. So now, and then in Iran, I started to be a feminist, and I know myself a little bit as a feminist. I hope. It was hard because even if you talk about these things, maybe lots of even the member of my family started to laugh and say that, what is this shit? What are you talking about? It's just I don't know, a joke, or you're young, you will get married, you will have children, and then you will understand that's what a woman must be, a mother. And it was challenging for me, but yeah, I did it, and now I think that's I passed the maybe in words it can't be that's heavy that I experienced or any other girl in Iran or this country may experience. but it's a hard life story. And now I think it was something that was put on me, but still I could choose for myself the way that I want. And now I'm not in that conflict with myself. I try to not punish myself, don't blame myself for who I am, what I feel. And yeah, that's it until now.
Thank you. Thank you very much, Melika, for sharing your story with us. And thank to our 3 dear friends and guests for today. I think the 3 of them, they had very powerful messages to share with us. So we really thank them because, of course, it takes some effort, it takes some courage to share those stories. But those are very important. It's very important to speak because if we want to tackle discrimination, the only way is to speak about discrimination. If we want to change some situation, we have to speak about what we think is not going well, we think is not correct. So we thank, on behalf of all the participants, we thank them a lot for their braveness. And I would like now, so we have 30 minutes approximately. I would like now to give the floor to our dear participants. So we may start with Bogdan. So if our participants have any question, would like to know something more from Bogdan, please, this is the moment. Remember, they are like our human books today. They will reply to our questions for us.
May I?
Please.
Bogdan, the other day you told me that while you were looking for a job, you faced a lot of problems. Could you give us more example of the problems that you faced and like examples, what they told you or which were these? Thank you.
Yeah, I usually try to forget the bad stuff. Especially the painful stuff, I try to put aside, focus on the positive side. Yeah, there was I think last year, I was at a job fair because I got recently, due to political issues, I had to find they couldn't keep me hired. I was at a job fair, and there you have to complete sign a form, and I was asking the person there to help me because I have problems writing. And the person was, what, you don't know how to write? And I think this is a long time ago. I was talking also to possibly employer, and he gave me hope, like, yeah, okay, we'll try to find, we'll hire you, we'll do this, we'll do that, okay, no problem, but nothing happened. And other people, like, basically, they're not saying in your face, but they're thinking, what the hell this guy is doing here? He should be at home.
Thank you so much.
Any other question?
I have a question.
Esmeralda, yes.
Bogdan, has your family been supportive in your decision to work?
Thank you for the question. My parents were very supportive. Even they supported me to go to college. They said, you must go to college. even though you have you have a disability, you must go to college. You must have a degree. Yeah, they supported me in finding a job. I mean, I told them that, yeah, I couldn't get a job. I finished social work to become a social worker. I told them I didn't get a job, and they were, okay, you can find another job. It's not the end of the world for you. And currently I work in a bookstore. And I love it.
That's great to know. That's great to know because, no, that's great to know about the support that you have received from your family, because I know many cases that when parents have kids with disability, they try to be overprotective to keep them home because they think that they are not safe, their kids to go out and especially to work and so on. So it's really good example.
Yeah, they overprotective, even mine, but on things I cannot do, on things that I need help with. On, let's say, finding a job or shopping or other, they are not, yeah, you can manage it, go do it. Any other question?
Yes, I have another question. Is there in Romania any association that help people with disabilities to find jobs or not? Or you have to find the job by yourself?
The state-owned one are practically the state-owned ones exist, but they don't do their jobs. There are NGOs, but there are the people don't know about them. People is not like you see NGO XYZ on TV, advertisements or campaigns or at TV. Even the social, in social media, if you don't search for, let's say, NGO Vasiliada or any other NGO, I said Vasiliada because this is the NGO I'm most familiar with. Even if you don't search about this, most people don't know they exist. Somebody else?
Any other question for Bogdan? Okay, if not, I guess Bogdan.
I have one question for Bogdan.
Please.
How did it feel when you got rejected, and how did you find strength to continue?
Yeah, good question. I was thinking about that. Felt like the ceiling fell on my head. felt I can describe it, felt worse, felt like hell. But I've been through worse situation, even in school and in life, or with so-called friends at in the area where I live. So I was already used to that, but not to being rejected at possibly job offer.
Okay, thank you very much, Bogdan, for your story. And I also wanted to underline what Esmeralda said. I also think, that sometimes parents may have the best intention. It's understandable that they want the best for their kids, but I'm glad to hear that also your parents were supporting you, were trying to push you to get the best of your life, because otherwise sometimes also I have some friends with disabilities, the parents are very protective because they think we must sorry, you want to take
them in a bubble, sort of a bubble.
Exactly. That's again, it's of course understandable the good intention of the father and the mother, but in the end, often it just put more barriers. So I think all of us, I mean, we're glad to hear that from your family you got support, and we wish you the best luck for your future.
Thank you very much.
Thank you very much to you. Thanks a lot. Okay, then we might proceed with Anastasia. Also, she shared her story with us. She opened up her heart to all of us. She had a very important message to share. But is there anything else that you would like to ask to Anastasia? I have a question, but let's give first.
I also have a question.
Federica, I think, wants to ask.
Yes, I have a question. Actually, also, maybe also Bogdan can reply. I was wondering about what are the main challenges, like the main barriers that people with disabilities can face. Like, as far as I could understand, there might be problems related to the inaccessibility of some places, or then we have the social problems of stereotypes, prejudices, negative attitudes, ignorance from people, or the lack of opposite like technology that you need. Also, according to you, which are the most challenging things that you have to face during also daily life?
Yes, that's a good question. Well, many places, like you say, aren't that easily accessible. So, like, I need to use a rollator to walk, so I can just walk up the stairs. That's one challenge that sometimes people need to help me with that, because as yes, in the biggest city in our country, there are some advances that like the places are more accessible, but yes, more you go out, the less accessible they are. And yes, sometimes I would like to join in kind of activity, but I need help because the place isn't easily accessible. One problem, for example, are the buses, because most don't have a ramp, and I always need an accompanying person to go with me on the bus, or I need to take the taxi. I'm not free like to go everywhere I want, or sometimes I have to. There are accessible buses or even associations that give cars, but you need to a week in advance, like, or a few days in advance. And it's a challenge because you don't know what you will be doing in a few days. That's one thing. Another thing is also, yes, the social challenges, exclusion, and stereotypes, like people see me and they think, look, she cannot do this, instead of thinking, what if she could do this but differently? And yes, many times people complain on me being too slow. Many times I've heard various stereotypes about a disability, like what? Can you guys be quiet, please? Sorry, we have a bit of confusion here. And yes, also the mindset they see disability, but they don't see me. That would be the biggest problem, because I always have to show what I can do instead. Yes.
Thank you so much. And yes, I mean, I'm trying to understand what's like to be, like to have this kind of, how can I say, yes, disabilities. But of course, in your case, we could see that you are a very, very talented girl. And also Bogdan, Octavian, we have seen it with our eyes. We could hear with our ears that you guys have potentials. So just try to believe in yourself. I know that it's very challenging, but also we should not generalize, because I think that also you can have, you can encounter empathy in life, because you give the opportunity to receive empathy, because you are guys all precious. So thank you so much to sharing this with us.
In fact, if I may link with what Federica is saying, my question for Anastasia would be like, if you can help us restore some faith in humanity. So like beside the discrimination that, that you receive, and I will call even bullying that you receive at during the school age, like is there also some sometimes when instead you felt support, like from I don't know, your classmates, your friends, sometimes where you have seen that that people could really see you, could really see Anastasia beyond the specific disability that do not define the person, of course. So are there also some maybe positive events that you can recall?
Yes, I have quite few of them. I mean, not all my experiences in general were bad. There were also many good ones. For example, I can remember at school, I always had like 1 or 2 friends, even if no one else wanted me. And these 2 friends, like, they would protect me. They would like be the guide. They would see that I was suffering when I was bullied, that I pretty much didn't know what to do or how to react, or when I was beaten and stuff, or when, for example, someone came and pushed me into the wall. Yes, the stuff happened, but there were some friends that would stand up for me, and I really appreciated them, because they really could understand what was happening to me, and they took the time actually to teach me how to do some things, to not also, if no one invited me, they would invite me for a walk, or maybe at their birthday party, even if we were practically alone. But yes, many times some teachers also stood up for me, and they figured out how to include me in the activities when no one else did. Then later in life, I found some friends that taught me a lot of stuff and would also be ready to travel with me. And with these friends, I gained a lot of positive experiences that I never had in the life before. So yes, they saw what I could do. They saw my talents. They went forward to the fact that they went over the fact that I look different. It didn't matter to them. They would help me when needed, but we would do all the things pretty much together. So like they would also accompany me if I needed help to go to the shop and things like that. Yes, there are those people.
Thank you so much. Thank you. Is there anyone who have a question for Anastasia? Muzo, please.
It's not a question entirely, but I was wanting to link what Anastasia said about, you know, people with disabilities. Sometimes we think that they cannot do something, instead of thinking, as she said, maybe they can do it differently. I had a friend in Italy that is his name is Carmine Consalvi. He's disabled. He's on a wheelchair, but he's a masterpiece of a sport like I don't know if you know with calisthenics that require a lot of body strength. But even in his position, even in he's like a handicap, let's say, he is like a masterpiece. I mean, he's like a center of hope for us because it doesn't matter your position. The only limit that you are is inside your brain. I mean, everyone could do whatever he wants, and the strength comes inside of his or her heart. I mean, those people that make fun or ballet, those people are just ignorant. And yeah, there are a lot of people like that, unfortunately.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much, Muzo, for sharing. And maybe Esmeralda, who else? Sorry.
Francesca Mele.
Okay, Francesca and then Esmeralda.
Okay, so first of all, like, thanks all of you for sharing your experience. I imagine that I don't know, personally, I believe that it's difficult also to pour out your emotion or feelings or things that you have been through in front of a camera and in front of people that somebody maybe you know and somebody you don't. And so I would like to ask you, Anastasia, I have, let's say, the idea that maybe growing up, the kind of social, let's say, social exclusion changes. I mean, for example, when you are a kid, kid don't. Can you hear me? Sorry.
Yes.
Okay. Kids don't maybe fully understand that they are doing something wrong. Instead, growing up, people become like more mature, more aware of what's wrong and what's right. So I would like to ask you, in your opinion, do you think that growing up, the things in general improve, or you experience a different kind of exclusion? And then also, I would like another question, but let's see. I will not take too much time.
Okay,
Thank
let's
you.
answer this one, and then you can ask me another one. Okay, yes, it changes a little bit. Like kids don't understand challenges like differences if parents don't explain it to them. It depends on how parents raise the kids, because some kids actually can be open and accepted, and I also have seen that in life. But growing up, well, yes, each stage of life has different challenges. So, but even in adulthood, I found out that we need more awareness, because not all people are aware. One example is when I go out on the street, many people stare at me like that, like I would be a ghost. We had an example of a car passing, and they would hold the wheel of the car, but instead of looking forward, they turned their head on us while they were driving. I mean, these things still happen. In general, adults are more aware, but there is also times when they aren't really behaving appropriately. Yeah. So each stage, not that it is better, but it has different challenges.
Thank you. Can I do also a second question? Sorry. Jacopo,
Yes.
Quickly. What is your biggest, how can I say, the goal that you reach that make you more proud, let's say? For example, I know that you play guitar. So since maybe sometimes, maybe also when you were a kid, you had a difficult times in maybe sing, or other people couldn't always see all the potential. So what is the main thing that you achieve that make you really proud?
The main thing I achieved, of which I am proud, is actually that I'm still here. Because when I was around 3 years old, I survived the brain damage. I didn't breathe. I could have died even at that time, but also later in life, I did face depression. I did face anxiety. I faced all the typical problems related to bullying. So actually, my biggest goal is that I'm a winner. I didn't give up in life due to my challenges. I always went on. Even when teachers in the music school would say, you know, you wouldn't play well enough to go on stage or something, you're slow, you can't even hold the thing right. I always proved them wrong by practice and practice and practice. And it took me way more time to practice. But in the end, I had my own band. I was playing on stages. People told me I couldn't sing. And yet I'm always doing some kind of karaoke. I mean, I always went on to win my fears and to not let what other people think define me. I wanted to kill myself 1,000 times in my life because I thought no one loved me, but yet I'm still here. And I'm always going forward. I'm always trying to learn new stuff and go over. Even if walking is difficult, I love to walk. Even if I may speak slower, I love to speak. I mean, I try to love life as it is, and that's my biggest achievement.
If Esmeralda maybe wanted to ask another question.
Yeah, actually, partially she answered, because my question was, what's your biggest motivation, inspiration in life? Because I know that apart from music, Anastasia also knows 3 or 4 languages, and yeah, passionate about them. So what keeps you moving forward? But you partially said it, but yeah, it was about your motivation and inspiration in life.
What keeps me moving forward is the fact that I love life. I'm also religious. I also love God. I also think that life is worth living because we are here to learn, to experience life, to always, my biggest motivation is to always develop myself, to be a better version than I was yesterday, to always go forward, to practically never let anything define me or put a barrier to what I want to achieve. And yes, practically love for life makes me go on.
Thank you.
Okay, then if I may have a consideration, then we might proceed to our next guest. Because I was very much touched by the story of Anastasia, by those events, especially bullying. I think we cannot fully understand, let's say, how you felt in that moment. And yeah, of course, kids do not, kids do not fully understand what they are doing. As Francesco was saying, you know, it takes some time to mature, it takes some time. But at the same time, I think it's important that we do not also, it's important that parents do not justify that, you know, like they are kids and let's try to understand. Because at the same time, until we wait for them to grow up to understand what is right, what is wrong, there is someone else suffering at the same time. So it's very important that that parents educate them in a proper way, and that no one else is harmed because of bullying behavior. I saw one video quite recently. Personally, I like, but I would like just to share what it was about. So in the video, you see one kid who is walking through school, and the father is recording from the car. So the father is basically going walking speed, but in the car, and the kid is walking. And the father said that the kid was is the son, and is like I don't know, 8 years old, 8, 9 years old, something like that. And he said that he was reported by the teacher because he was bullying a classmate with disability. So the father said, for the next week, my son will walk for 6-7 kilometers every day to go to school and to come back to school as a punishment. And he say in the way to school and coming back, he will think about what he did. And I saw many comments below this video. You know, many people say, this is not the way, this is not educative, blah, blah. In my opinion, instead it was a father who cared for the son and wants to give a strong message to the son, like think twice before doing again what you did. And also a father who is aware that there was another person, not just the son, but there was another person that was suffering for these behaviors. And of course, the kid is a kid, but I think it was right to stop straight away and give this message. Because otherwise also, you know, when sometimes we try a little bit, you know, when we try to legitimate a little bit by saying, you know, they are kids, they don't know exactly what you're doing. It's true, yes. But please remember about who is suffering and who is developing, as Anastasia shared with us. You know, when you are bullied at a very young age, then you will suffer for the rest of your life with many other disorders as depression, suicidal thoughts, etc., etc. Okay, anyway, Anastasia, we're very happy to have you with us. Now, Anastasia is our volunteer. She contacted us last month. She was extremely polite and kind, and she said, I will be very happy to be a volunteer. And today I want to say we are very happy to have you with us, or all of us, all the group, and we are very lucky to have you with us. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you. And okay, we may now move to Melika. She also shared a story where the discrimination is based more on cultural features and gender discrimination. So if anyone has some question for her.
I have a question.
Please.
Okay, so Melike, I know that now you are living in Turkey for, I don't know for how long, but my question is, do you still feel facing the same difficulties and situations like when you were back in Iran?
First, I'm here for 3 months. It's my 4th month that I'm here. You know, as far as I understood, Turkish is not that far from Iranian culture. I can see the religious people here, and I can say that a few days ago I was stopped by police, and because of the curfew, I was walking in the street, but I wasn't the only one. I can say that in that time there were at least 30 people, and I was the only one who was stopped, and I could see that the police was looking at my legs because I was wearing a shorts, and I could feel that it's a religious behavior, and because he stopped me and fined me, but not others. But still, maybe in other, I've been on traveling, and in the south in Istanbul, I could feel more free there. but in terms of the way that you were and the way that you act, and you know, maybe the way that people look at you as an Iranian girl, I can understand that that one is different, you know, and I can see it still in Ankara. But as I live here alone and my family are not here, I don't study here now. As a traveler here, so I can't be pushed by people. And you know, when you're just starting and you're at the beginning and you are in my age, you are more free to choose your environment, you know. Because of that, I in this age and this situation, I have the chance to choose who I want to interact, who is my friend, and who is the circle that I'm around. Because of that, for sure, I feel 1,000 times more free here.
Thank you very much.
I have also, sorry, Jacopo, you want to see something?
No, I wanted to say Patricia has some question, but I read that you have for Bogdan and Anastasia, especially. Maybe also you have to Melika?
Yes, I also have one for Melika.
Please.
So, okay, Melika, so then would you like to go back to Iran? And what is your family saying to you since you live there in Iran?
Okay. You know, I'm an only child, and I lost my father when I was around 10 years old. So a member of my family is only my mother. And actually, she was against my immigration. She said that if you want to study abroad, go study, and because I'm gonna study abroad for master, hopefully in 4 months or 5 months. And she said, okay, if it's the thing that you want, go on, but come back. But for me, I think that's, I don't belong in that culture. I don't belong in the country, which is my own country. I was raised there. Of course, even the streets have different feelings for me. Even the home has different definition. Of course, there are lots of these things, but it's still, and you know, when I came here for the first month, I was totally alone, and I was feeling so alien here, but still, I never doubt that I want to come back, because there I was more alone. My mother, that she doesn't want me, and I know that I will be alone, but this is my decision to go back to Iran. I don't know what is voice come from my
No, I don't think so, but
yes, there is a very weird sound.
I don't know where it's coming. Someone's phone is ringing, I guess. I don't know. Okay, go on. There's a mosquito. Also, just for you to know, Bogdan just wrote in the chat that in case someone would like to be in touch with him or ask any other question to him, he's very willing to have a dialogue with you, and he posted Instagram and Facebook, his Facebook and Instagram profile. Okay, any other question for Melika? If not, we may give the floor again to Patricia for her question.
I have a question.
Jessica, please.
For Melika. So I want also, Melika, thank you for sharing. When you were sharing your story, the first thing that I thought is that I don't know much about Iran, but I know that the freedom of speech is not a strong point, let's say, of the country. So also the first thought was luckily, like, you are in another country now. Okay, so what I want to ask you is there any person or like an experience that helped you to get in touch, let's say, with your true self more, or that started that process?
I'm afraid I couldn't understand your question clearly. Can you a little bit simplify it?
Yes. So what I understood is that from what you share, that you, growing up, you had kind of problems in expressing your true self, right? So
Yes.
my question is if there is any person or any experience that helped you to find your true self.
Mm-hmm. So yes, the first one was my mother, because I was lucky because she's not religious, and she tried her best, not the best situation. Maybe it wasn't the best situation for me, but I really appreciate her because I know that she tried her best to give me the freedom to choose my way. And then after that, my best friend from my high school, she was, due to that problems that I had tolerated, I had the problem with privacy, keeping privacy. And one of the reasons that today I said that, okay, I want to share my story because I'm dealing with it and I'm trying to fix it. Because I was blaming for everything that I had done, for everything. And then since that age, I started to hide myself, to put a wall and not allow anyone to pass the line and to get to know me more and more, because I was afraid of being blamed by them. And the first one that who gave me the feeling that she is safe was my best friend from high school, and now it's 8 years that we are friends, and she was the one who I shared the stories with her. After that, I think that it was me. I'm telling in terms of the time, not in terms of the importance, because if I want to put it in order of importance, I will say that I was the only one. Yeah, I was the first one who helped me. And then I was myself that I realized, okay, there is something wrong here and I need to fix it. And after that, an important thing, it was my therapist. I started therapy for 1.5 years until now. And I was lucky that she was one of the best, because even therapists sometimes in Iran can be hurtful. And it's so, it's so weird that sometimes therapists push you to be not yourself, because they were raised in the same situation, same culture. They were a child in the same family. So yeah, I consider myself as a lucky person in that case. And after that, yeah, therapy could help me a lot to find myself and express myself more. Thank you for your question.
Thank you.
It was a good part that I like to talk about, because it was a good part of it.
Thank you. So we have space for one last question, then we should close. If there is no, we may go to Patricia. Maybe Patricia, can you share your question for maybe for Bogdan, who spoke a bit less?
Okay. Well, I have also one question more for Melika, but anyway, it's okay. The question.
Okay, sorry. Then you choose to Bogdan, to Anastasia, or to Melika.
Okay, I'm going to ask to Anastasia because I asked to Bogdan and to Melika, but I didn't ask to Anastasia. So just to be fair, one for each person. Okay, so because Anastasia was speaking about her experience of bullying in the high school, in the primary school, so I would like to know her opinion about schools or high schools just specialized for people with disabilities. Because as far as I know, here in Spain, we have this kind of schools or this kind of institutions. And there are people that is pro these kind of schools, and there are people that consider that it's better to mix people and children with disabilities and children with without disabilities. So, what is the opinion of you, Anastasia, for this case?
Can you repeat the question because the connection was a bit bad?
Yes.
This is the question.
Okay, do you think that it's a good idea or a bad idea to create schools just for people or for children with disability?
Do you think that is good or bad idea to create a school just for people with disabilities, or it's more better to be in school?
I think, well, for there is good that there exist some programs like for different levels of learning ability, but in the end, I think that those different programs should be like in the same schools, so that people could see other disabled, so that kids would see other disabled kids while growing up, so they could get used to them. So the environment would be inclusive for all kinds of abilities, even if they have to learn in a different classroom because maybe they aren't able to follow a normal program. It is still important that in some activities, those schools would do the things together with kids with no problems.
Okay, thank you very much. I am done, Jacopo. You can do whatever you have to do.
Thank you. In fact, no, we have some time restrictions, but no, in fact, it would be nice to continue much more. But again, we can be in touch, of course. We are in touch. We have the contacts of Anastasia, of Bogdan, of Melika. If someone wants to ask something more, even privately, I'm pretty sure that they will be more than glad to reply to you. Okay, so in that case, I guess we are done for this event. We thanks very much all the participants of the session, all the ones who had the questions, and Esmeralda for organizing this event. Thank you very much to our dear guests for sharing with us. Again, we really appreciate that they were so open. They opened really their heart and their stories to us. So we really thank from the bottom of our heart their stories and their attendance today. Okay, so thank you. Have a very nice evening and take care. Bye-bye.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
I missed all of you. See you, I hope.
See you, Burjo.
Please,